and add more new fields, football fields, soccer fields, and probably another 2 or 3 baseball fields. That's it. And try to save what we have already.
So, they hear it, but they just
They do not.
don't want to combine the taxes, you know. Well, you know what, that's a different issue, and,
But I think it's worth discussing that too, because see, one of the allegations is, why now, why do you want to take this money instead of using it over at the sewer plant where the problems may be potentially, you know, grave? You can't mix the funds. We can't take FEDC funds and put them over there, no matter what. If you leave them here, they stay here. So not spending the money for something that should be high priority. We're looking at kids' lives here, thinking that we ought to use them over there when we can't. It's ridiculous.
But what people, a lot of people are seeing is like this sales tax on your budget here for
Right.
September of 2012, $50,000 a month. People are saying, well, the more businesses we have up on the highway, that figure is gonna get bigger.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
what the problem is now, we're born under the road to put sewer over from McCoy's, there is no more property up on the highway for sale anymore. There's 2 or 3, there's less than a handful, and some of them aren't the best, low-lying areas, but I think people wanna see a bigger scale on what the city's gonna do as far as expanding our commercial properties and where our infrastructure is, what kind of plans we have foreseen. I know that, I don't think we've even done a survey to see where we're gonna go with ETJ and where we're gonna mwe that out yet.
But see, that's not.
That's not us.
That's the city's
No,
responsibility.
I know that, and I
not
know
us.
that, but we are there to help promote new businesses
Yeah.
and bring in,
And we're
do
doing
what
that.
you're doing right there,
And we're doing that.
putting in the sewer.
But back again to what I said, you know, people think that this is something that we have a choice. I think priority-wise, we don't. This is top priority. We're talking, you know, things that are very necessary. Quality of life is a big deal with economic development, not only to keep people here that have kids and want to stay here and want their kids to be safe, but those people that want to move into town that have families are looking for that kind of a thing. When people come here from other towns, like recently, I think, to have some games over here, they couldn't even find a place to seat.
It's
Sure, and
embarrassing.
I understand that. I'm just saying, people see this Eagle Ford Shell boom, we'll never see this again, not in my lifetime. And it's a once in a lifetime deal, and if the city of Floresville doesn't get with the program and start bringing in these infrastructures, it's gonna pass us by,
And believe me, we need to be
and that's what
very
people
concerned with that.
are,
But
that's the concern
These are
of
not-
the business people that I know.
yeah, these are not butting against each other. This is a priority that's here now. The time for it has come, and we're the ones to do it.
And I agree that it probably needs to be done, but, can we need,
Not tomorrow, not next year. You know, things are going good on the other side.
I'm all for the kids, it's,
Well, and that's good, David, because, you know, you hear these guys stand up there and they say, I'm not against the kids. You know, it's one of those, like in the old days, and I still remember, maybe there's no connection here, but I grew up in those days when people said, you know, when they were accused of discrimination. Some of my best friends are, you know, the bottom line here is you are against the kids. The kids are the ones being deprived, no matter how you spell it out.
Exactly.
And again, you don't intend to be, but the end result is that you're depriving, you know, the facilities for kids. And like the mayor has said many times, we're growing based on what you just
I'm
said.
just saying though, these monthly tax receipts, tax sales, that's what pays for that stuff out there.
Of course.
And that's,
And that's what we're here to do, to make sure that the town gets what it needs.
because right now, we're gonna be at a stalemate here pretty quick as far as our growth goes.
But that's a function of a plan to expand the city limits, to take in the
And I
ETJ.
understand
And
that.
once you expand the city limits, and you gotta provide services to all those areas, you know.
And with that,
But that's beyond our capability and our
Sure.
our control.
It's something the city needs to start working on.
That has to materialize before we can do any kind of help or projections on how we can help that growth occur.
They gotta do the plan, and they gotta do the planning of
But
extending.
that concern's been mainly focused to the city council too. So
I'm sorry?
It's been focused towards the city, not towards
understand.
EDC. I'm just saying.
No, and you're right, I mean, I can't disagree with, in a global, more comprehensive.
And the city's growing, it's growing, and regardless of what anybody
It's
wants.
gonna continue to grow, but
But with the growth comes the responsibility to provide those
Of course.
recreational opportunities, because that impedes our ability to bring people in, people that wanna live over here, or wanna move their business over here, if they have kids, they're gonna think about that. Because we have, we don't have anything that we can be real proud of in the way of the facilities over there, I don't think so.
No, it's a
And of course, the guys that have, you guys have been involved, I know, Sarah has, I don't know about you, Robert, and you have some time back. But I mean, you know it's much better than I do, how difficult it is. And the other day, Tom Rowland stood out there and said, well, let's get our guys together and let's go out there. It's way beyond their ability to do. We gotta get in there and pitch.
takes money, a lot of
I know the erosion problem, that needs to be done.
Absolutely. Don't disagree with that.
Because the next flood, it's gonna get, the next flood we had like in 2000, what, 02?
Yeah, that was the last one.
It'll probably cut right through,
I mean, you're 100% right there.
take the pavilion out there on the bottom end.
And I'm like you, I think it's gonna take more than incremental attempts at least at the very front end of it. I don't know that it takes 2.1 million or whatever, but at least something that you can put
And I
together.
don't know if that study was from 010, that $350,000.
Well, that's what they're revising right now, they're looking at it again. I asked them to come back and take a look at it and see, if their assumptions that they made in that study is still valid. So I'm waiting for them to tell me what their engineers are looking at.
Okay.
Anyway.
But anyway, that's,
Just a minor thing there, we insert that at $6,000 in there, you need to adjust the.
that ends, what that does in the total expenditure,
Right.
takes it to $1,119,969. And cash reserves on hand at the end of the year, with all things staying equal, $773,810.55.
What was the $6,000 headed for? For the water expansion extensions needed at the
The Veterans Park.
the Veterans Park on Paloma Drive, where the new Human Resources building will be.
Okay, do I have a motion to go into
Do
executive?
we vote on this first, or do we look at the evaluation first?
Do we have,
It's
do
up to
y'all
y'all.
wanna go into executive session or?
No, I can go with this now, and the change is gonna be very minor if it is, right?
But if we're making a budget,
Okay.
it's best if we go afterward,
That's right.
that way we know.
That would be-
If there's any changes
precisely
that we
right.
have to do,
Thanks, sir.
okay.
Do we ever want to be precisely right?
Exactly.
So as part of the budget discussion, evaluation of executive director will be in closed session in accordance with the government code of Texas, section 551074. Personal matters, any action taken will be in open session. Do I have a motion to go into executive session? Motion by Mr. Amato, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.